Hi everyone, it's me. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Alanna and I'm a Canadian, but I have been living here in the UK for the last 6 years. And if you know me, hi, how's it going? It is a beautiful day today, isn't it? I know. And that is why we're going outside. How exciting. If you like this video and you want to subscribe, that'd be pretty cool. But without further ado, let's go. Okay, let me set the scene first of all. There is further ado, obviously. Today is a beautiful day. It's still like a little bit cool. So I'm thinking like t-shirt and leather jacket kind of situation. I only have 2 coats, either leather jacket or like long winter coat. So we're gonna go with leather jacket today with the t-shirt. I know weather is extremely exciting, but what I'm trying to get, my whole point is, it is a beautiful day. It is sunny and it is clear. So what I thought was I'm going to take you to one of my favorite places and show you some of my favorite places within that place. Inception, I know. God, that's an old movie. So I have just booked my train ticket. We are going to go to one of my favorite places. Ooh, mysterious. Should I say it? Should I not say it? If I don't say it, maybe people will watch the video longer. Too bad, I'm gonna say it. We're going to Rochester. Surprise ruined, I know. I used to live technically in Rochester, technically not in Rochester, but anyway, I love the place. It is so cool, and I just want to take you guys there today, all right? So that's what we're gonna do. Now, you may have seen the video from Tom Scott about how Rochester lost its city status, which is a very cool video. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. But essentially, Rochester very well should be a city. I mean, it's got a gorgeous, giant cathedral. It has a castle. It's very, very cool. It's a cool city, lots of history, but it lost its city status. So technically now it is a town. One of the reasons I love it so much is not only do you have, this cathedral castle situation, there's so much history. It's got quite a fun, cute, I know people hate when I say cute. It's got a cute high street. I just personally love it. So it's a big city, but it's not. And it's like quite small and cozy, and I don't know, I just love it. So I've got my bag, I've got my camera. I am going to test out our external microphone and see how it goes today. One of these. It may be horrible, it may be awesome. My hopes are not high, but we're gonna test it out. So this video is kind of like an experiment. I hope you don't mind. Now, also, how cute. This is just an old glasses case I got from Specsavers like a million years ago. Guess what I got, guys? Prescription sunglasses. And I've never had to use them in this country until today. So I'm very excited. They're super flimsy and cheap. I didn't want to spend a lot on sunglasses that I'm only ever going to use like twice a year in the UK. How do they look? Do they look all right? It doesn't really matter. But we may actually need them today, which is in it of itself, I'm so excited. Anywho, I also messaged one of my friends. She is currently working in Rochester this afternoon. So tentative plan, you know how I love a tentative plan. I'm gonna train in. I'm gonna show you some of my favorite bits about Rochester, some of the things that I love as a foreigner who lives down here in the Southeast. And then perhaps we'll meet up with her, maybe get lunch or something. I don't know. We'll see where the day takes us. So that is my spiel. I hope you like this video. If you want to subscribe, that's cool. All right. If you don't, I get it. Anywho, I need to test my camera first. Hold on. Just kidding. It's Alanna here from the future. This microphone sucks. I mean, not the one I'm using. The one that is currently on my shirt sucks. So I am in the market for an external microphone. If anyone's got any suggestions, please leave a comment down below. But please do keep in mind that I am poor. So nothing too crazy. Anyway, all the audio for this video sucks. So I'm going to be your voiceover guide to our trip to Rochester. Please enjoy. Now, in my humble opinion, one of the great things about the UK is that it is possible to get around on the train. As a Canadian, this is not something that we can do very easily. So if you are moving to the UK, please make use of it because wow, how convenient. I would also say for any foreigners watching, any expats, hey guys, how's it going? If you are living in London or you plan on living in London, first off, I hope you're having a wonderful time. It is a cool city, but please come down to Rochester, okay? It is not far from London. It is so easy to get to by train from London, and it'll take you absolutely no time at all. So Rochester is a wonderful afternoon trip from London. Please do it, okay? You won't regret it, I promise. And if you do regret it, then that kind of sucks, but I know you won't. So Rochester has a really great train station. It's all been remodeled in the last couple of years. And the station is only like a 2-minute walk to the high street of Rochester. There is so much history, you guys. I swear, it's unbelievable. Here I am. I don't remember what I was talking about, but obviously it was not that important. Anywho, so you walk from the station to the high street. It's going to take you all of 2 minutes. Now, personally, my favorite things in Rochester tend to include books, coffee, and history, and ideally sun, if we are so lucky that the sun is out. And thankfully for this day, it was so beautiful, not like crazy warm just yet, but a clear sunny day. And when you live in the UK and it is a clear sunny day, you really got to take advantage of it. So this is like the absolute perfect time to do one of these little day trips. I truly love it. Rochester is just, it's awesome. All right, it's great. Now, when I come to Rochester, typically my first stop is I get to the high street, I walk up the high street towards the Medway River, and then I stop off at Baggins Book Bazaar, which is England's largest rare and secondhand bookshop. And when I say it is England's largest, I really truly mean it. You can absolutely very easily get lost in this place. I am not joking. It's absolutely massive. And it just goes on and on forever. So if you are into books, first off, you gotta come here and you gotta spend some time. While it is really nicely laid out and there's like maps of where certain sections are, it is a little bit overwhelming because there is truly just so much here. So come over to Baggins when you come to Rochester. Give yourself some time to wander, to get lost in the shelves, because honestly, it's one of my favorite things. I should also mention that Rochester has quite a close connection with Charles Dickens. So in Baggins, there's actually quite a big area that is like dedicated to Charles Dickens. But essentially, he lived in Chatham, which is a nearby town, when he was quite young. But many of his novels include references to Rochester and the surrounding area, which is pretty cool. So if you do come to Rochester, you will see some Charles Dickens influences. People love them here. And there are 2 separate festivals held in his honor, if you're into that kind of thing. Now, after getting thoroughly lost in Baggins, what I typically like to do is to get a coffee. Now, because it is ever so slightly sunny, that means we are in iced coffee season, all right? I love it. I can't help it. Now, typically, I will go to the cheese room and get an iced latte, but across from the cheese room is Deaf Cat, which is also a really great coffee shop. I've often gone there when I need to do some work and I want to be in a coffee shop. But today it was the Cheese Room. Cheese Room actually has 2 locations, like a little cafe and then more like a restaurant. So go to the little cafe to get your iced coffee. And then where do we take it? Well, the best place to have a coffee, read a book, has to be something that's very special to Rochester, which is the castle grounds. So while Rochester is a town, yes, we have a castle. Now, whenever there is an event in Rochester, a lot of the time it will be done in the castle grounds. So unfortunately for me, the castle grounds were closed because they were setting up stuff for an upcoming event. That sucks. However, if you find yourself in Rochester and this has happened, there is a secret spot. If you continue past Rochester Cathedral and past the sort of main area of Rochester Castle, there is like a little secret green spot, like with some grass, kind of on the outside of the castle wall. Pretty much you can guarantee that nobody's going to be there because most people don't go over there, but you are still in and amongst the history you can still get some sun, you can sit on the grass, you can read a book. So that is where I like to go if I've made the error of coming to Rochester when the grounds are closed, which does happen. I mean, it's pretty cool that they have a lot of events in the grounds, but it is annoying if you intend to go in there. Now, I'd like to call this section Alanna having a little bit of a lovey-dovey rant, because I am so truly grateful that as a foreigner, as a Canadian, on, just a usual afternoon, I can take a train into such a historic town. I can sit in the castle grounds, I can read, I can listen to a podcast, whatever, and then I can go home. And I don't ever want to forget this feeling or take this feeling for granted, because any other time as a Canadian, if I wanted to do this, I would need to book a very long flight and a very expensive holiday to be able to do this. So that's my little speech. I'm just truly grateful. I don't know what else to say. Next up, I met up with one of my girlfriends and we decided we were going to go in the castle, which you can do. Even if the grounds are closed, they usually leave like a little pathway so you can get inside, and it's about £7.40, I think, for a ticket into the castle. Now, this castle is not like Dover Castle in the sense that inside, as you can see, is just barely hanging on. So you have some staircases, you have some pathways, you have some little rooms and like little plaques that you can read what that room would be for, but it is just kind of like barely holding on in terms of like an actual structural building, if that makes sense. If you've been to Dover Castle, then you know what I mean. This is very much almost like the skeleton of this old, very, very old castle. Still very cool, but you probably could do the whole castle in like, I would say maybe a half an hour. Shout out to this camera though. You can barely tell that I almost fell down these steps. So this is your formal warning. Watch where you are going, guys. The steps are uneven, but check out this room. Welcome to the cesspit. Would you like a little bit of history on the cesspit? Well, it's too bad. We're not going to talk about it, but here it is. Enjoy. Now, the main bit of Rochester Castle is centered around this major staircase. So thankfully, there is a railing because the stairs are, a little bit uneven, a little bit funny shaped, but you can take the stairs up to different levels of the castle. We decided to go all the way to the top to get started, and you can get some really great views of Rochester. Also, the castle is along the River Medway, which is pretty cool. So you get kind of like a town view, but you also get a river view. Honestly, have I said that I love this town? Because I really, truly do. Anyway, I thought it would be cool to go all the way up the stairs in one shot, but let me tell you, I can't explain how many times I almost fell because I wasn't watching where I was going. This is your second formal reminder. Please watch where you're going in these castles. But yeah, thankfully they have a railing and you can't go all the way up. We went, what was this, Tuesday? Tuesday. Anyway, it was a weekday, and I think there was one other like couple in the entire castle while we were there. So it was very quiet. Pick a quiet day to go, ideally not on a weekend, but even then, I don't think Rochester Castle is all that busy. It's not one of like the big castles, obviously, from what you can see in terms of what you can do inside, but it is still definitely worth a visit. Now, I am not an expert. I know, shocking, right? I'm not an expert and I am not a historian, but I do know how to Google things. So the city of Rochester was a small Saxon village. The Romans came over in 43 AD and made Rochester one of their most important towns by building a stronghold and a bridge over the River Medway. Now, it wasn't until 1088, after a Norman invasion, that Rochester had its first stone castle built on the remains of the old Roman fort. So we are talking 1088 when their stone castle was built. So absolutely crazy. Can we say it's old? Because wow, it's old. And if we can trust Wikipedia, take this with a grain of salt, it says this 12th century keep or stone tower, is the castle's most prominent feature, and guess what? It is one of the best preserved in England or France. Yeah, you guys beat the French at something. That is just truly wonderful. Everybody pat themselves on the back. One of the best kept 12th century keeps. Yay! And finally, we have made it to the top of Rochester Castle, so you're going to get some great views of Rochester Cathedral across the street, plus pretty much the rest of Rochester from all the way up here, and you also get some views of the River Medway on the other side. Now, it's going to be windy. Here's your hot tip. It is almost always windy up there just because, where it is. So just be aware. If you've, worked really hard on your hair, don't bother because it's pointless. Anyway, up here is just truly beautiful. Now, I've actually been to Rochester Castle, oh man, probably 5 years ago. Actually going up it rather. I go to it all the time because I love, like I said, sitting in the grounds and hanging out and stuff. But I did actually go up it when I first moved to Kent so many years ago, but I haven't been up it since then, and it is still really cool. Again, it's not like the biggest or like the most exciting castle, but it's still pretty nice. Oh yeah, also watch where you're walking because it is not even up there either. So please guys, all right, this is your final warning to watch where you're going. So just for reference, on this side of the castle, I don't know what side you'd say, the left side, whatever. On this side, if we pan around, also check out those homes. Can you imagine? If anyone knows who lives in those homes, please send me an email because I'd love to come over. Anyway, down there is where I was hanging out in the grass. So you are kind of in the shadow of the castle, but you still can get some sun. And there's this huge house over to the left that's getting like a crazy remodel, construction, restoration. I don't know. Anyway, if anybody lives in and around Rochester Castle and has a really cool house, please send me an email. I'd love to come over and hang out. We could be best friends, okay? I can provide lots of cool friend qualities like, I don't know, let me think about it, but just give me an email, all right? I want to come over. Now, if you want to do the proper touristy stuff, after you are finished with Rochester Castle, come on down, go down that staircase all the way down, come out of the castle and walk across the street, and you're going to find Rochester Cathedral. Now, I'm not going to pretend to know all the history of Rochester Cathedral because let me tell you, there's a lot. But it was originally founded in 604. Yes, you heard me right, 604. And I think Rochester Cathedral kind of gets overlooked because down the road we have beautiful Canterbury Cathedral, which itself is very cool. But do come see Rochester Cathedral. It's a bit more less known, it's a bit quieter, but it is still very, very cool. So after we wandered around the cathedral, it was very quiet during a weekday. Obviously, it is still an active cathedral. There are still services. But after we wandered around a bit, we went back to the high street, which again is like a, 45-second walk from the cathedral, which is just wonderful. Everything is within walking distance, which I just absolutely love. Next up though, on the high street, we went to a really neat shop called Rocket. Please go visit. It is so much bigger than you think it is. There's a downstairs, there's an upstairs, there's like a back end to it. It's awesome. So we had a little bit of a wander through the high street shops, which is always fun. Support local businesses, my guys. All right, if you can, do it. After our brief shopping trip, we were absolutely starving, so we decided to stop off at Fleur de Thé. It is a really cute sort of cafe tea room right on the high street. They also have a couple of seats outside, so we really wanted to be outside in the sun, which was perfect. Truly lovely. Go visit them. Okay, check them out. We got a really nice lunch, and I was absolutely stuffed. So all in all, it was a really great day. After a couple of hours, we decided to head back to the train station, again, like a 2-minute walk, and head home. But all in all, it was a truly wonderful afternoon out. I hope you guys like this video. These are some of the things that I like to do in my spare time, my favorite things in my favorite town. But if you like this video and you want to see more, make sure to check out this video where I share a day in my life. But as always, thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, bye!